Just a few weeks ago, the luxury hotels of Dubai were overflowing with wealthy tourists willing to spend thousands of dollars for a single weekend in the desert paradise. Suites on Palm Jumeirah were fully booked. Rooftop restaurants near the Burj Khalifa were packed every night. Influencers, celebrities, and millionaires continued selling the image of a city that looked untouchable, a futuristic oasis where money could buy absolute comfort, absolute safety, and absolute escape from the chaos of the outside world. But then something changed almost overnight. Suddenly, five-star resorts started slashing prices in desperation. Luxury rooms once worth over $600 a night dropped below $100. Flights were cancelled. Airport terminals became chaotic. Viral videos showing smoke rising near some of the city's most famous landmarks spread across social media at terrifying speed. And for the first time in years, people around the world started asking a question that would have sounded impossible before. Is Dubai's luxury empire beginning to crack? Because this isn't just about tourism numbers dropping. According to the claims discussed in the original report, this is about something far more dangerous, the collapse of confidence. A city that built its global reputation on stability and security is now facing a problem money alone may not be able to fix. And if that trust disappears, the consequences could reach far beyond empty hotels and cancelled vacations. At the beginning of 2026, everything about Dubai still looked unstoppable. Tourism officials continued celebrating massive visitor numbers, luxury developers kept announcing new billion-dollar projects, and social media remained flooded with glamorous images of rooftop pools, designer shopping malls, and ultra-expensive beach resorts. The city was preparing for another record-breaking year, expecting nearly 20 million international visitors to arrive before the end of the year. On the surface, it looked like the luxury machine was still printing money exactly the way it had for years. But underneath that polished image, the pressure was already starting to build. Then suddenly, the market shifted with shocking speed. Hotels that once had waiting lists began launching aggressive discount campaigns almost overnight. Resorts on Palm Jumeirah that used to charge over $600 per night were suddenly offering full stay-and-dine packages for less than $100. Luxury suites with views of the Burj Khalifa saw major price cuts. High-end family resorts started flooding travel websites with desperate promotional deals. And the reason was simple: the tourists were disappearing. According to the report discussed in the original video, many luxury properties saw occupancy levels collapse below 20% within days after regional tensions escalated in late February 2026. That number terrified hotel owners because this was supposed to be the busiest and most profitable season of the year. Normally, the months between November and April are when Dubai makes most of its tourism revenue, thanks to cooler temperatures and non-stop international travel. Losing visitors during this narrow financial window created panic across the hospitality sector. Hotels weren't lowering prices to attract extra guests anymore. They were trying to stop entire buildings from sitting empty. What makes this situation even more alarming is that Dubai's luxury market was already facing hidden problems before the crisis began. The city had spent years building more and more ultra-luxury hotels at an incredible pace. According to the numbers mentioned in the report, more than 67% of the city's hotel inventory belonged to the upscale or luxury category. That meant the entire system became dangerously dependent on wealthy international travelers continuing to arrive non-stop. Once those travelers started hesitating, the business model immediately became unstable. Suddenly, hotels designed for exclusivity were forced into price wars just to survive. And for a city whose global image depends on luxury, that kind of desperation sends a message the entire world notices very quickly. The most dangerous part of this crisis is not the falling hotel prices or the cancelled flights. It is the psychological damage spreading across the world far faster than any official statement can control. For decades, Dubai did not simply market itself as a luxury destination. It sold something much bigger: certainty. In a region often associated with political tension and instability, Dubai built its entire identity around the promise that nothing would ever go wrong there. Wealthy travelers came because they believed the city was protected from the chaos surrounding it. That feeling of absolute security became the foundation of its tourism empire. But according to the report featured in the original video, that foundation suddenly started cracking after the escalation of regional conflict in late February 2026. As videos of smoke near famous landmarks spread across social media, the perception of the city began changing in real time. Tourists recorded chaotic scenes near airports and hotels. Flight cancellations quickly increased. Travelers posted emotional reactions online while trying to leave the country. And in today's digital world, perception often matters more than reality itself. The report claims that despite most of the city's infrastructure remaining operational and major systems recovering relatively quickly, the emotional impact on global audiences was already done. Millions of people around the world had now seen viral footage connecting Dubai with fear and uncertainty, something the city had spent decades trying to avoid at all costs. One of the most important points mentioned in the report is that tourism does not operate based on military statistics or government reassurances. It operates based on emotions. A traveler planning a luxury vacation does not want to calculate interception rates or study defense systems. They simply want to feel safe, bringing their family somewhere expensive and relaxing. Once doubt enters the conversation, the entire luxury experience becomes weaker. And for a destination built almost entirely around premium tourism, even small changes in global perception can create enormous financial consequences. Unlike during COVID-19, this crisis is also happening while other luxury destinations remain fully open and available. Wealthy travelers canceling trips to Dubai are not staying home. Many are simply redirecting their money toward places like Japan, Greece, Italy, or parts of Southeast Asia instead. That creates a long-term risk for the city because tourism loyalty at the luxury level is often extremely fragile. Once travelers discover new destinations they feel more comfortable with, convincing them to return becomes much harder. The report argues that this may be the most serious branding challenge Dubai has ever faced. Because when a city builds its reputation around the idea of total stability, even a brief moment of visible uncertainty can damage years of carefully constructed global trust. And rebuilding trust is always far more difficult than building skyscrapers. According to the original report, the regional conflict did not create Dubai's weaknesses. It simply exposed problems that had already been quietly growing beneath the surface for years. Long before the tourism slowdown began, the city was already becoming heavily dependent on a single image: endless luxury for wealthy international visitors. Massive resorts, artificial islands, giant shopping malls, and ultra-expensive hotels became the center of the economy. For a while, the strategy looked brilliant. Tourist numbers kept rising, foreign investors continued pouring money into new developments, and the skyline kept expanding higher into the desert sky. But beneath the success story, dangerous cracks were already forming. One of the biggest concerns mentioned in the report is the oversupply of luxury hotels. By early 2026, Dubai reportedly had more than 150,000 hotel rooms, with thousands of additional luxury units still under construction. During periods of strong tourism growth, that expansion looked like confidence. But when visitor numbers suddenly slowed down, the market quickly became overcrowded. Too many luxury hotels were now competing for a shrinking number of wealthy travelers. That is why the discounts became so aggressive so quickly. Hotels were no longer competing to maximize profits, they were competing to avoid becoming empty buildings. The report also highlights another major weakness: seasonality. Unlike many global tourist destinations, Dubai depends heavily on a relatively short period of comfortable weather. From roughly November through April, the city experiences cooler temperatures that attract millions of tourists. But during the summer months, temperatures regularly climb above 40 degrees Celsius, making outdoor activities exhausting for many visitors. That creates enormous pressure on businesses to generate enough profit during the winter season to survive the slower summer months. When tourism demand collapsed during the city's most profitable period, the financial damage became far more severe than many outsiders realized. Another issue discussed in the report is something harder to measure with numbers: cultural depth. Over the years, Critics have often argued that Dubai focused so heavily on luxury, architecture, and spectacle that it neglected building a stronger emotional identity for tourists. Cities like Rome, Kyoto, or Athens offer visitors centuries of history, traditions, and cultural experiences. Dubai, on the other hand, became famous primarily for delivering perfection, convenience, and excess. But the problem with building a brand around perfection is that once perfection disappears, people begin questioning what remains underneath. As travelers started reconsidering their vacation plans, many shifted toward destinations they viewed as more authentic, more stable, or more emotionally meaningful. According to the report, countries like Turkey and Egypt could benefit from this shift as tourism demand moves away from the Gulf region. In many ways, this crisis forced the world to see something that had long been hidden behind luxury marketing, a city whose economic model may be far more fragile than it first appeared. For many people, Dubai's rapid recovery after COVID-19 became proof that the city could survive almost anything. During the pandemic, global tourism collapsed everywhere at the same time. Airports shut down, hotels emptied out, and international travel nearly stopped completely. Yet once restrictions began easing, Dubai managed to recover faster than many expected. Luxury tourism returned, influencers flooded back to social media, and the city once again positioned itself as one of the world's top destinations for wealthy travelers. That recovery created a powerful belief that Dubai was nearly impossible to slow down for long. But according to the original report, the crisis unfolding in 2026 feels fundamentally different and potentially much more dangerous in the long run. The key difference is that this time, the rest of the world is still open. During COVID-19, travelers had very few alternatives because almost every major tourism market was suffering together. But now, tourists canceling trips to Dubai are simply redirecting their money somewhere else. Flights to places like Japan, Greece, Thailand, Italy, and other luxury destinations continue operating normally. Hotels in those countries remain stable. Tourists still feel comfortable visiting them. That changes the entire competitive landscape. Instead of waiting for Dubai to recover, many travelers may permanently discover new destinations they enjoy just as much, or even more. The report also explains that crises involving security and aviation often leave long-lasting psychological scars. Even after flights resume and hotels reopen, fear can remain in people's minds for years. Some analysts, referenced in the video, compared the disruptions surrounding airports and air travel to some of the most chaotic moments the global aviation industry has faced since 9/11. Whether or not that comparison is fully accurate, the emotional effect on travelers is very real. Luxury tourists especially tend to avoid uncertainty whenever possible. When people spend thousands of dollars on vacations, they expect comfort, relaxation, and peace of mind, not headlines about regional instability or videos of panic spreading online. And that creates a much deeper problem for Dubai than temporary financial losses. The city is no longer fighting only to restore tourism numbers. It is fighting to restore emotional trust. Rebuilding hotels or reopening airports can happen relatively quickly with enough money and infrastructure. Rebuilding global confidence is far harder, because once travelers begin associating a destination with uncertainty, even subconsciously, every future vacation decision becomes more complicated. That is why many experts believe this crisis could become a turning point for Dubai's tourism model, not because the city lacks money or resources, but because trust, the most valuable product it ever sold, is much harder to repair once the world starts doubting it. Despite the fear and uncertainty surrounding the current situation, many people still believe Dubai has one major advantage that cannot be ignored: its ability to reinvent itself. Over the last several decades, the city has repeatedly transformed crises into opportunities. It survived financial crashes, real estate slowdowns, oil market fluctuations, and even the global shutdown caused by COVID-19. Each time, Dubai managed to return with larger projects, more ambitious tourism campaigns, and even stronger global attention. That history of resilience is one reason why some investors and tourism analysts believe the city may eventually recover once again. But according to the original report, recovering this time may require far more than aggressive marketing campaigns and luxury advertisements. One of the biggest challenges now is that Dubai can no longer rely entirely on the same formula that built its success in the first place. For years, the city focused heavily on luxury, convenience, and the image of total stability. But the events of 2026 exposed how vulnerable that model becomes when global confidence suddenly weakens. Many experts now believe the city may need to rethink how it presents itself to the world. Instead of depending almost entirely on ultra-luxury tourism, Dubai may need to invest more deeply in cultural experiences, long-term sustainability, and attractions that create stronger emotional connections with visitors beyond shopping malls and expensive hotels. The report also highlights another growing concern. Continuing to build massive amounts of new luxury hotels during uncertain conditions could become extremely risky. Thousands of additional hotel rooms are still planned for the coming years. But if international demand remains unstable, the city could face even greater pressure from oversupply. In other words, Dubai may eventually need to slow down its expansion and focus more on strengthening what already exists, rather than constantly trying to build something bigger. Another major issue is climate. Because the city depends so heavily on cooler months for tourism revenue, future investment may increasingly shift toward indoor entertainment, climate-controlled attractions, and infrastructure designed to reduce dependence on seasonal weather patterns. If Dubai wants to remain competitive year-round, adapting to extreme heat may become just as important as rebuilding traveler confidence. But above all, the report makes one thing very clear: restoring trust will take time. Reopening airports, repairing buildings, or launching new tourism campaigns can happen quickly. Changing how millions of people emotionally feel about a destination is far slower, and that may become the real test for Dubai moving forward. Because in the luxury tourism industry, perception is often more powerful than reality itself, and once perception changes, rebuilding the dream can become the hardest project of all. For years, Dubai represented something larger than tourism. It represented a modern fantasy, a city where luxury never stopped growing, where money seemed limitless, and where the future always looked brighter than the rest of the world. Towering skyscrapers, artificial islands, 7-star hotels, and non-stop expansion created the image of a place that felt almost untouchable. But the situation described in the original report reveals how quickly even the strongest global brands can become vulnerable when trust begins to disappear. Empty luxury resorts, massive hotel discounts, cancelled flights, and nervous travelers are not just temporary business problems. They are warning signs that the entire model may be entering a dangerous new phase. What makes this story so fascinating is that the real battle is no longer about construction, technology, or money. It is about perception. Dubai built its empire on the promise of certainty in one of the world's most unstable regions. But once people around the world begin questioning that certainty, rebuilding confidence becomes far more difficult than building another skyscraper in the desert. Luxury tourists have endless alternatives now. They can choose Japan, Greece, Italy, or dozens of other destinations that currently feel calmer and safer. And once travelers emotionally disconnect from a destination, bringing them back may take years. Still, writing off Dubai completely would be a mistake. The city has survived major crises before, and its leadership has repeatedly shown an ability to adapt faster than many expected. But this moment feels different because it challenges the very foundation of the image Dubai spent decades creating. The question now is no longer whether the city can recover financially. The real question is whether the world will continue believing in the dream that made Dubai famous in the first place.